All right, so this looks like a bomb has exploded in the workshop, including this, unfortunately. But I'm on my rampage, cleaning again because it's time. We can't work this way anymore. There's too much stuff to do. The business is growing. So much stuff. We need more storage room. I need to be able to work, so I need to create more room. Also, with creating more room, there is another thing that is very important. I need to tell you. Well, I don't need to tell you, but it will be handy, probably, maybe. Anyways, as you know, there was a mock-up MR2 here on this ramp. It used to go up and down. There was a Sylvia there where the frog is. I cleared that space, so on the second floor we have the Sylvia now, which hoping someone's gonna buy it because I need to get rid of this car. Because again, space, and there's another meaning to that space. Hold with me for a second. Obviously, the frog drives now. Let me grab a light before I show you all the rest. I'll show you quickly what I did because the last time you've seen me fiddling it around with it, but now, yeah, it's a very simple solution. What was under the steering wheel is actually in the center console now. I was starting, there's a lot of switches that you see on the floor, and I was starting to get all the map where I want the switches, and I can transfer this to there, you know, and disassemble this stuff and put them on the console. It would be nice to have a carbon, but I only have alloy. I don't want to spend too much time on my car, blah blah. And then it's like, well, that's perfect. That is as solid as you get. It's, I mean, that's sixth. It looks made for it. And also I have those holes which are usually bought to the steering wheel. I can use at least 4 toggle switches and something in the middle. This works perfect. So sometimes, you know, just stop, think, and the solution will come to you. And sometimes it's, you know, absolutely great. Anyways, so that would be much easier to wear up. It might be obviously quicker because we don't have much time, so that's very valuable, etc, etc. So it's really not far now from being ready to get mapped. Just fuel system. Anyways, in order to remove the MR2 over there, and that MR2 actually is very important in the business because I use it as a mock-up, I still need that car, or at least the back of it. So this is what I did. Very simple. I've chopped it in half, or actually in third. I could have cut it just behind the bulkhead here, but I thought, you know what, I may actually need all this space. And also, besides using it as a mock-up, I also want to, obviously we're gonna clean it, everything nice, you know, like a showroom, blah blah. Well, not really, but at least just a little bit cleaner, to show you all the rest of the stuff. For example, the fuel system, you know, the fuel point is gonna be here, so we're gonna put the fuel pump, how you modify that stuff. I'm gonna open a couple of windows here. This is gonna be removable because, again, I want to finish to develop my I want to supply the removable bulkhead for the engine covers once you go, for example, VR5 or VR6, or all the engine swaps as well, because, you know, it's very handy. But also this is still gonna be here, so it could be like in 2 different options with the correct bulkhead. But I'm gonna open a couple of holes here to show you from inside how the stuff fits, because sometimes showing you from under the car, for example, this way, it's kind of fiddly, like you can get some idea or not. But I'm thinking if I can show you from this perspective, from inside here, it will be even better. Also, new cold intake, so everything is open. You know, suspensions, subframes, everything is just so easy accessible. Now this engine here is a mock-up engine, so it's empty, there's nothing inside. Same for the gearbox, because I only use it for the turbo system and the different turbo setups for customers, because not everyone uses KO4 turbos, not everyone uses exactly the same exhaust manifolds, because a lot of people go for big power on these engines, you know, 400, 500, 600 brakes plus. So they have different setups, and obviously the exhaust that we sell off the shelf only fits the standard KO4. But when you guys have something different, something bigger, usually customers, they send me the whole turbo setup, and then I match the exhaust system. Usually is the same price as the stuff off the shelf, and usually we just add like extra for the extra materials, If there is, for example, 2 wastegate setup, then obviously, that's extra because it's not included, but usually prices are very, very reasonable because it's easy for me to mock it up, because again, I know this car's upside down now, and specializing in one thing, you really get your hand and head around the things, a lot of different solutions, which otherwise you have to be there for hours usually and plan errors. In this case, there's no errors, there's no planning, it's much quicker. So when you do the stuff quicker because there's no development, no testing, then stuff is cheaper and still very good quality. So there's no compromise, it's very good. The rest of the car is there, scrap, I don't need it. Yeah, we may scavenge something, but I don't care. We really need space. So probably 30 or half of the stuff we got in the workshop has to go. It will be scrapped today. I really need a space. Anyways, back to this engine. So I'm drifting off the topic. So the plan is not only to have this as a mock-up, but also the video I've made about how to put one of these engines in a Mach2 1.8 is, I think it's 4 or 5 series. It's extremely long and seems almost complicated. It's not, but I just want to show everything in details. But in details, there was an engine here, there was an engine mounted in the car. But if I put this engine, which is fully working engine, because this one actually is the one, she switches and everything, Toyota ECU, I have it as a simulation for the hybrid wiring looms I used to make to check if everything is right. Plug everything inside the ECU, the Volkswagen ECU, blah, blah, all the wiring loom, and everything works, only then goes to the customer. Now I'm not making these wiring looms. Now we're switching to adapter looms, which been long for development, and they were ready. I just have to start production, and we're actually waiting for a couple of last plugs, which the almost last plugs have to arrive, because everything is brand new, everything is genuine, but we have I think just one series of plugs coming from Japan directly. Anyways, once that is done, they're going to be back in production, so no long waiting. But again, I am tied. There's nothing I can do, third parties. So when the supplier is going to supply those plugs, we're able to manufacture them. Until then, it's nothing I can do, so we have to wait. Anyways, this engine, this is our new charge cooler setup mount with adjustments, because the charge coolers, none of them, they arrive spot on exactly the same, so that will allow you to take, if there's any changes in the charge cooler from the manufacturers, that will take care of it. So, and plus is nicer. Anyway, so I want to put this engine and the gearbox and everything fully functional inside this car and make that video again, because then I can actually show you from underneath, from the sides, and we're going to put a couple of windows, for example, there. So I show you from inside, for example, the fuel lines, where they go. If I show you that from inside the bulkhead view, it's clearer. So everything is, I could probably squeeze the how-to in 2 videos. Could be about I don't know, an hour maybe. We could probably do it. So I think that's actually good. But obviously before that, I want to probably Steve, if he finds the time to clean this show, because it would be nice if I could do it, but I really don't have the time to make trivial stuff. It's just don't. We have too many orders. The way I've done it, very quickly, you see there's no precision work, it's just weld 4 legs with the massive wheels on it, and this could be just move around whenever we need. Whenever we need, whatever we need. They'll be wobbly. I have to make some reinforcement there. Anyways, so space, and yeah, this, I think the roll cage for this is coming today, so from next week I think we're going to be on it, because all the stuff is about to be delivered, like 100% of it. So once we got all of it, yeah, we'll start working on this till it's ended. But we have loads of orders I have to get on. And this is another thing, we all these orders. Now in the process of this, I'm my own here. So if I'm working on this, obviously Steve's gonna give me a hand, but if I'm working on this, like yesterday for example, this took me 1 day. Today is another day. I think it's gonna take us another 2 days to clear all this stuff, because we have to clear all upstairs as well. There's lots of stuff accumulated. It doesn't look like, but when you actually start removing it, all the beads and all the stuff that you think it could be used for 1 day, there's tons of stuff, and you have to go through each one every single one of them, because you want to keep as much as possible, but also you don't. So yeah, plus me being me, I'm like, right, just open the van, open the trailer, just throw almost everything away. Still be like, oh, I can use this, I can use that, I can use this, and he wants to keep everything. So that's gonna be both a bit of a loads of disagreements, I think, but regardless, we have to bin loads of stuff. Also, because we have to move premises. Unfortunately, after almost 14 years, or this is 14th year being here, we have to move. So at the beginning of the next year, we have to be out of here. So we actually move. We're actually looking for a different unit. I'm not sure how big the unit we're gonna find, because it's not as easy as it seems like. It still has to be commercial, doesn't have to be workshop, because we don't have customers going in and out on a daily basis. This is more of a development and factory setup workshop, and this is the way I need to set it up, because you see this is explosion, but what I actually need is my small lab to assemble all the stuff, do development on one car, which is mainly this, and I need a lot of storage to put our parts on, because the next step and the most important goal is to refine the assembly line for the customers, because now we are capable of sending the stuff you guys order really quick, a couple of days after, and but it means, because again it's not just 1.8, because we're supposed to do that. We have 1.8, the full kit, VR5, VR6, DSG and 6-speed, subframes, arms. There's more parts to come. Different, turbo setups. It's so much. So the production line obviously relies on suppliers. So we supply every single board you need. So everything has to be categorized, everything has to be organized on a shelf, on paper, on a tablet. It's much more than you think it is. To make it efficient, to make it one-off, is simple. You gather for the stuff, you make a list, you buy the stuff, when it arrives, you assemble it, send it to the customer. But when it starts to be at this level, this needs to be much more organized. So the plan was to redesign this workshop, but as we had this notice, we didn't make, I didn't make an agreement with the agency for this, because they don't care. After 14 years being here, it means nothing, just a number, and I don't like it, because they're very dodgy. Well, I don't want to say it, but yeah, I got enough of this, so we have to move. We want to move regardless. So again, if you see this and you know someone that has a unit for rent somewhere in Gloucestershire, the closer to Gloucester, the better, because that's where I live. It will be very handy, but even where we are, it's fine. We have a few options, but again, we still got some time. We still got about 5 months, so it's good to taste the waters and see what's available. Anyways, back to us. Instead of investing in this workshop, we're just gonna have to clean everything that is not necessary to keep, and organize the jobs, so when the orders come in, they go out within a few days, and be as efficient as possible, and then we have to move. Yeah, no problems, and that's it, because in between all the orders and the cars we have to build and the whole setups, this is getting silly now, and I cannot be efficient this way, and efficiency now is the key. So that is the goal, and that is the primary goal. All the rest, to be honest, for now, it doesn't matter. Even my car, I spent about a week, well, not a week, in between the jobs, working on it as quick as possible. I was busting my ass to do it as much as I could, because then I have to bring this one, the VR6, and the rest of the orders for you guys. Now, some of the stuff still haven't arrived, and I think by the end of the day, this week and the beginning of the next one, the rest of the parts and will arrive for the assembly line for all the rest of the orders. So it's gonna get crazy. This week we cleaning up, and it's already crazy. The next 2-3 weeks is gonna be massively busy. I mean, it's always busy here, but now it's getting crazy. So I really have to prepare the workshop for it. It's not just me, it's the workshop. Workshop is my tool. Without the proper tool, the job cannot be done, period. And if it's done, it's very inefficient, which results in delays, missing parts, missing bulbs to assemble the obviously the kit or whatever people order. So this is why we've chopped this in half, because again, space and simplicity. I can kind of store a couple of things here related to obviously to this. It's easy to do extra development. It's easy to move it around, so everything is mobile. If I need something on that ramp, like for example now it could be a different car, not my Silvia, I could move this away. Well, it's not the ramp anyway, and that's it. And also, I'm probably gonna bin this engine here, so the space that takes that engine with the ramp, all of that setup, is quite big actually, is gonna be in one. So we actually clean a car and a half and a quarter of a space into a third of the car. So again, sometimes you can't really make everything more efficient. Plus again, lots of this stuff has to go. A couple of gearboxes that we're not gonna use, gone. I mean, all of this stuff is not expensive. Yes, it could be useful someday, maybe, but it doesn't pay the rent, and that space is actually more valuable for me if it's empty and I can put my storage than keeping that thing that may or may not be useful one day. DSG gearbox again. I already made a video. We understood how it works inside. Don't need it anymore. It looks like a shame to throw the stuff away, but no, this has to go. It does not pay the rent. The big welder needs to be fixed. As big as old school welder. It's absolutely beautiful. Got to be fixed. Shouts. All this stuff I have here, not enough. The stuff is getting piled up because if you don't have a space for everything, it starts to get messy. When it starts to get messy, you can't find the stuff. When you can't find the stuff, you rush in without actually going anywhere. So it's very easy to escalate into chaos, and the chaos is not efficient. And again, at this point of the business, we really have to be efficient because, all this that skyrocketing. It's way too much stuff and way too much orders. My bike is for sale as well. I'm using it as a storage as well now. It's a lovely thing. I say I'm never gonna sell it. I want to do something with it. I don't have the time. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. Maybe next year, maybe in 2 years' time, I'll get another one. My Delica is still there. It's been years, and don't have the time. My Audi, I love that car. Rear brake caliper broke with the handbrake. The car is mint. The car is a 2.5 turbo diesel, and we've done the conversion. Damien did it for me. We have S4 manual gearbox. This is probably the only one, or not many in the world, of the all roads and in this class with the manual gearbox with the Torsen center and diff and all that stuff. The car is mint. It's absolutely lovely. I don't think you can get new stuff that is some of them they are good, but not. This is one of the fucking best cars I've ever had, and it's been there for months because I don't have a time to actually take care of it. It's a small thing. It's not much. The Lake has been there for years, like I say. It has the engine inside now with the gearbox kind of like adapted quickly together, and then it's there. It's gonna take me 15 years to do it, so I have to get rid of all of the stuff that is not needed and take care of the business mainly, remove the stuff that takes me time. Sylvia, come on, this thing is mint. Even under the car is as clean as inside and top. Someone please buy it because we need space. And again, when we have to move premises, I don't know what we're gonna find. We can do with a much smaller business, with a much smaller unit, because again, I don't need it that big if we just concentrate on, the production line. However, if we have it as big as this or slightly bigger, it's not a downside. It's good because we can do more stuff. We can work on our cars, but that's additional stuff. The minimum we need is slightly smaller than this, but not much. Ideally like this. So, and again, when we move in, it's gonna take us about a month, and it looks simple, but it's not. He's assembling all these ramps. He's assembling everything, the second floor and everything, and organizing all the stuff, moving the cars around. I mean, at that car Silvia, no problem to move it, but it adds up. So I need to make everything simplified as this is possible. So Even making this video is taking time. I'm already pissed because I need to get on with this stuff. Steve promised to be here in the morning. Morning has been long past. He's still not here. Hopefully at some point, because yeah, I need a hand to move this stuff around and throw it away. This in front of the workshop today is gonna be piles of scrap. So yeah, there you go. You know everything now, and hopefully I'm gonna make another video by the end of this week, and this workshop is gonna look completely different, more efficient, and then from next week everything starts to flow. So for few more days, please be patient. We're getting there. Give us a few weeks time and everything should be very efficient. We're making this with suppliers, and everything starting really to flow nicely. Again, few weeks time and everything should be really good. So we're getting there. Hard work every day, almost here. Lots of stress, can't sleep anymore again, but it should be good. All right, I will see you hopefully in a few days time, and this should look decent again, not like a war exploded here.